Hi there, have you ever wondered how to ensure the cooling tower performance data you receive is reliable and transparent? A cooling tower is a critical component in many industrial processes, functioning as a specialized heat exchanger where water and air interact directly to remove heat. Its performance directly impacts the efficiency and reliability of your operations. Cooling tower performance curves are essential tools for evaluating how a tower will perform under different conditions such as varying wet bulb temperatures, flow rates, heat loads and fan power consumption. However, the accuracy and validity of these curves can vary significantly between manufacturers. It is fundamentally important to note that cooling tower performance curves are derived empirically rather than theoretically. Empirically means something is based on observation, experience, or experiment rather than just theory or logic. Empirical data information gathered through actual testing, measurement, or real-world experience. Example: if someone calculates how much cooling a tower should provide using formulas, that's theoretical. But if they test the cooling tower under real conditions and measure the actual cooling it achieves, that's empirical. All individual cooling tower components are tested and data is gathered empirically. Using the empirical data, a theoretical model is created and utilized to generate cooling tower performance curves. This is exactly how Marley does it. However, some other manufacturers may simply use theoretical predictions for their tower components and more often than not will not test the components, which can lead to inaccurate performance curves. The reasons for inaccuracy in the declared performance curves by manufacturers could be due to the following reasons: data derived from uncertified or non-calibrated instruments carried out during testing. Results may be obtained using optimistic theoretical values that do not reflect the real-world performance. Results may be based on high inaccuracy tolerance or exaggerated to produce an ideal performance curve. Such practices, whether unintentional or due to differing standards, can lead to misleading operational inefficiencies or, in some worst cases, insufficient committed capacity, which is why a reputable, globally recognized standard such as CTI certification is critical for reliability and trustworthiness. Performance curves are typically made up of showing cold water temperature versus wet bulb temperature, tower capacity versus flow rate, fan power versus thermal performance. Most of the time we are interested in the curves comparing cold water temperature versus wet bulb temperature. When comparing the performance of two different brands of cooling towers, what should we be looking at? Which is a better tower? Both tower meet the design point of 29.5 degrees Celsius and 27 degrees Celsius, cold water and wet bulb, but which is a better tower? In Singapore's real-world environment, the wet bulb temperature is usually between 25 degrees Celsius and 27 degrees Celsius for more than 50% of the time. This means that most of the time, conditions are moderate and within a common operating range. The more extreme wet bulb temperature of 27 degrees Celsius happens only about 5% of the time, and even then, we may experience it only for a short period of time, typically just a few hours. Apart from meeting the design point, isn't it important to investigate the efficiency of the cold water performance during 25 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius? Most of the time, wet bulb is around 25 degrees Celsius. That gives you cold water around 27 to 28 degrees Celsius. Now what is the impact of 1 degree Celsius difference? That tiny shift can lead to big savings. Let's compute. We're comparing two cooling towers running a 2000 RT chiller. Brand A gives 28 degrees Celsius cold water temperature and uses 1,100 kilowatts, costing up to 1.93 to 2.4 million SGD per year, while Marley delivers 27 degrees Celsius cold water temperature and runs at 1,000 kilowatts, costing as low as 1.75 to 2.19 million SGD. That's a yearly saving of over $200,000. So the real question is your system performing efficiently when it's supposed to be working the most? Because small inefficiencies in this common range can quietly lead to bigger energy bills and increased operating costs over time. Optimizing performance at 25 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius could be the untapped opportunity for better system reliability, sustainability and savings. In cases where cooling tower manufacturers do not have CTI certified equipment, it will be beneficial to the owner to insist on a site performance test in accordance to CTI ATC 105 by a third-party licensed cooling tower tester to ensure the committed cooling tower performance. To safeguard against this, the Cooling Technology Institute, CTI, has established standardized testing protocols, such as ATC 105, that ensure consistent and verifiable performance data. These tests translate actual test results into equivalent values under design conditions, giving you a more accurate basis for comparison. As an engineering professional involved in cooling tower selection, you play a key role in protecting your organization's interests. Here's how. Always request performance curves and commitment to the curves prior to purchase. Compare submitted performance curves of all brands. Ensure all performance data are CTI certified. If not, adopt CTI Site Test ATC 105 performed by third-party licensed CTI testing agencies. Reputable suppliers value transparency and will adopt CTI certification because there is confidence in the product. Ultimately, CTI verified performance isn't just a technical requirement, it's a safeguard for committed capacity and long-term operational reliability.